Hello, I'm Dan from Ace Rentals and Sales, and right next to me is our 2020 Winnebago Mini Winnie 22R. Now, today, just like always, I'll be showing you the outside, the inside of this RV, so you'll be all set and prepared when you come to rent from us. Over here on the driver's side, we have some stickers that show the dimensions of this RV here. So you can see it's about 10.5 feet wide, about 24 feet long, and 12.5 feet tall means that you should be wary of places like parking garages and drive-thrus. Unless you're going to like New York City, any tunnel should be fine, but just be wary of how tall this is. It's obviously bigger than a regular truck or car, for example. Down here to our first compartment is our generator. So the generator is going to be powering all the major electrical appliances in your RV. That'll be your TVs, your microwave, your AC unit, your outlets, all of that. It's going to run on the engine gas, so as long as you're at least a quarter tank full of gas, you can expect this to work. There's a switch that will turn it on and off inside, and everything else will be handled inside. The only thing you should worry about is if you accidentally run the AC and the microwave at the same time. If you do this, it's too powerful for the generator and it will cause it to trip. So you just want to come out here, take the top off, and the breaker is going to be right here. This will flip back if you run the AC and the microwave at the same time. You just got to flip it towards you like that and you're all set. Everything else is handled inside. Next to the generator is your power cord compartment. So this RV takes 30 amp connection and the power cord is actually connected to the RV for this one. So the generator is like a substitute for when you're not plugged in. So if you're on the road, you want to use electricity, you're going to take it from the generator. When you're at your campsite, you're going to plug it in and you won't have to worry about the generator at all. The connection, the electrical connection, will do everything that the generator does, and you can run the AC and the microwave at the same time. Now for Mini Winnie specifically, they have a special mechanic where you have to keep it plugged in here. So no matter what, it has to be plugged in somewhere. If you're using your generator, you're on the road, you want to have it plugged into the RV here. But if you're at your campsite, you're going to unplug it from here and plug it in to that 30 amp connection at your campsite. So it has to be plugged in somewhere. And over here we have a 30 amp to 15 amp adapter. Over here is your propane tank. The propane tank for this one is about 14 gallons. It'll last about a week before you'll have to refill it. If you do have to refill it, truck stations and campsites will do it for you. This is going to be power things like your stove, your oven, your fridge when you're not plugged in, and your water heater. And since it does run the fridge when you're not plugged in, you want to keep it on the whole time. Above that here is your hot water exhaust. You really won't have to worry about that. Just expect it to be hot. I'll talk more about the hot water inside. And over here is your furnace exhaust. So just like the hot water, don't touch it. Over here is your TV cable inlet. We'll give you the TV cable, so if you have cable or full hookup at your campsite, you just want to stick it in here, stick the other side at your campsite, you'll get all the channels through cable. If you don't, there's also an antenna in this RV, so you can find channels locally through the air. Below that here is your city water inlet. So you have a city water inlet and the fresh water inlet. So as far as the city one goes, you're going to take the white hose that I'll show you later, plug it in here, and you can take the water from the campsite or wherever else you're plugged in directly into the pipes. It'll bypass your freshwater tank. So this is when you take someone else's water instead of your own. Over here is your fuel fill inlet. It just takes regular gas, so no premium or diesel. And back here is your tank flush valve. You really won't have to worry about this. This is just for us when you get back. Now in the rear of the driver's side, we have the dumping station. This will be where you dump out your black and gray waste tanks. So you're going to take the sewer hose that we give you. You're going to screw off this cap here. You're going to clip this on. And you're going to stick the other side of this 90-degree elbow into your campsite or wherever else you're dumping. Then from there you have two valves which are color-coded here. You have your black valve, which is for your black tank, that's your toilet. And the gray valve is for the gray tank, that's your sinks and shower. So when it's pulled out like this, that means it's open, so if there were anything in the tanks right now, they'd be coming out. There are sensors inside that will show you how full or empty the tanks are. We recommend you pull open the black one first and then the gray one to kind of flush it out. So when they're all empty, you just want to push it in to close it. You can unscrew the hose here, put the cap back on, and you're done. Coming over to the back of the RV here, first of all, you can see our rear view camera. It'll go back at least 8 feet, so when you put the RV in reverse, it'll pop up on the display. Otherwise, when you're driving, you can also keep it on as a safety precaution. Over here is the service ladder that goes up to the roof. You won't have to worry about anything up on the roof, so don't go up there. And over here is your compartment space. There's one big storage area in the back here. This is where I got the sewer hose from. You have a spare tire over here, and I'll show you the other stuff on the passenger side. Onto the passenger side here, we have the same big storage area, but with a different door. So you have your spare tire here, and in this box here we have the freshwater hose. That'll be for the city water and freshwater inlet, and the TV cable. Now on the driver's side there was the city water inlet. This here is the freshwater inlet. So you're going to use the same white hose that I just showed you. This will be to fill up the tank itself. So when you're on the road, you want to use the sink or the shower or the toilet, you're going to take it from the freshwater tank. That'll be opposed to taking it from the campsite or wherever else you're directly connected. Over here is the back of the fridge, so expect it to leak water. It's just condensation, it's not broken or anything. Over here we have another storage area. And above that, we have another TV cable inlet. And we have two 15 amp 110 volt outlets, just regular wall outlets. Just make sure you're plugged in or the generator is running for these to work. So that's it for the outside, so I'm gonna head inside here. Opening the door, you see we have a detachable screen door. This panel just slides over here and back. Entering the RV here, on my left here we have a fire extinguisher as a safety precaution. Over here we have the porch light outside and the galley lights, they'll be the steering lights inside. Below here we have the awning light, they'll turn on the LED lights on the awning. And to pull the awning out, actually, you're just gonna hold down out here. It'll go out about 8 feet total, and it's only for shade, so if it gets windy or rainy, you should pull it in. And below that here, we have the switch to turn on and off the house battery. The house battery is gonna be for very minor things, like the lights or the awning, so you don't have to have the generator on just to turn on the light, for example. The house battery itself is actually gonna be below these steps here. It's gonna be powered when you're plugged in or when the engine is running, so you can just expect it to be running. Above my head here, we have the smoke detector. We have a fuse box below the bed here. We'll give you extra fuses, so in case anything blows, you know it's right here. And over here, by my feet, we have a carbon monoxide and propane detector. Over here is the most important part of the inside. You won't have to worry about the solar panel here, or the inverter. You won't have to worry about the tank heater unless it's winter. You want to switch it on, keep it on, just that the waste tanks don't freeze over. But over here is your control panel. This will tell you everything you need to know about the RV. Down here, we have the levels of all the tanks. So if you just hold down this button, LPG is propane, you'll see it's about 2/3 full. You just want to hold it down, empty, 1/3, 2/3 full. You can hold down battery. You can expect this to be charged. The fresh means fresh water. Hold this down, you can see it's 2/3. Black water is empty here. And hold down gray, you can see it's empty as well. Over here is the water pump. If you switch this on, this light will turn on. It'll just mean that when you open a faucet, you'll get water. We recommend you have this off when you're driving, just in case a faucet opens, you don't want water coming out everywhere. The water heater is going to use propane, so once you flip this on, it'll take no more than 20 minutes to heat up your water. You'll hear the flame going on outside in that hot water exhaust. So if you want to take a hot shower, just plan 20 minutes in advance. Above here we have the generator. So this meter will tell you the total number of hours the generator has been running for this RV. So you can see that's almost 260 hours. If you want to turn on the generator, you hold down stop first to prime it. There you go. And then you're going to hold down start. And there you go. When the microwave beeps, you know that everything will be working. That was almost instantly, but it can take like no more than 2 minutes. To use the thermostat here, you can see the temperature, and you just want to press this rectangle button. It will cycle through the different options. So I recommend that cool high is the best setting. Just wait a few seconds and the AC will turn on. Just like that. When you want to turn it off, just keep pressing it and cycle all the way to off. Next, I'll show you how to find channels on the TV. So you just want to turn on the TV, obviously. You're going to hit input, make sure the source is on TV. Next, you're going to hit menu, go over to channel here, and then you can change the signal type, which is air here, that'll be the antenna, or you can switch it to cable if you're plugged in. And we'll switch it back to air here, auto tune, and it'll find channels. It'll take like 5 to 10 minutes. To turn off the generator, you just hold down stop, and you'll hear it stop. Over here is your fridge. As I said, outside when we're not plugged in, it's going to be running on the propane. But when you do plug into 30 amp connection, it's going to automatically switch over to electricity. So no matter what, it's going to be on the whole time. Now right now it is off, but if you want to turn it on, you just want to hold down the power button here. The snowflakes will show you how cold it is, with 5 snowflakes being the highest, and then you're just going to keep pressing this to cycle through how many there are. Mode here, A means automatic, so it means it will automatically switch over. The teardrop here means propane, but you can switch it over to electricity if you were to manually do it. But I'm just going to set it back to automatic. If you want to turn it off, just hold down the power button, and that's it. In the back here is your master bedroom, as I call it. You have cabinet space up here, skylight, you have a TV here as well. And in the corner here is your bathroom. So starting off with the toilet here, you're just going to push this lever here with your hand right. That'll flush it down. Just make sure the water pump is on for this to work. The toilet paper is RV specific, so you'll have to go to a campsite store, or the camping section in Walmart will also sell it. Over here in the sink, I've placed a few bottles. There'll be a solution for the toilet, so in case the smell might come up from the black tank into the toilet, you just want to pour this down here to freshen it up. And as far as the shower goes, it's just a standard hot-cold shower. Over here is your living area and your dinette. You have seat belts enough for 3 people, and this actually turns into a bed, which I'll show you right now. I just took the top cushions off here, put them aside, and I took the bottom cushions and just lifted them up. Then down here, you're going to see this black knob on the table. You want to twist this counterclockwise to loosen it. And once you do that, you can take the tabletop off. From there, you can also take the pole out. And finally, you just want to take the table, put it down here. Then finally, you just take the cushions, lay them across like this, and this is your bed. We also have a DVD player connected to this TV, so just switch the input source to the appropriate HDMI. And behind me here is our overhead bunk. You can see other people up here. You just want to pull this out, lay it across, and then you can take the ladder and hook it onto these latches right here. In the front cab here, we'll also give you this envelope that'll have those extra fuses I was talking about. It'll have your registration, and it'll have your instruction manual. As far as the keys go, over here is your ignition key. This oval key is going to be for the cabin door, and this diamond key is going to be for the outside compartments. Also here you have the address and the roadside assistance number. You can call it 24/7 for any question. The front cab operates just like a regular Ford truck, so all the AC settings are pretty self-explanatory. The parking brake is going to be by my left foot right here. You just want to push it down, and the release is right here. Over here on the display, we have radio. You can connect your phone with Bluetooth. We also have the rear view camera view, so you can keep it on when you're driving, or when you put it in reverse, it'll pop up. Also, when you put on your blinker, this is my right indicator. It'll be the right camera and the left camera. These will be on the side view mirrors. And that's all I have to say for our 2020 Winnebago Mini Winnie 22R. I've been Dan from Ace Rentals and Sales, and have a great trip.